Then the next topic we are going to see the phases of life cycle. What is the meaning of life cycle? If one young one is formed, if young one is born, now the young one has to grow, attain maturity, and then becoming old, and it will die. Now the whole life of the individual is called the life cycle. So the life cycle has three stages, three phases. What are the three phases of the life cycle? We have to see. First one is juvenile phase. What is the meaning of juvenile? The term juvenile means very young. Juvenile phase. Phase means a state. What is the meaning of it? Vegetative phase. What is the meaning of vegetative phase? During this phase, the body of the individual, whatever the animals may be, the body of the young one is growing. That is called the vegetative phase. The size of each and every organ is proportionately increasing in size. That is called the vegetative phase. The second phase is called the reproductive phase, reproductive stage. Now that means at that time the individual is attaining maturity, sexually mature, and after that, that is maturity phase we can say. During this maturity phase, the organism is getting the capacity of reproduction. The organisms are having the ability to reproduce. That is called the reproductive phase. Then the last phase is called the senescent phase. Senescent stage, anyway we can tell. Now what is the meaning of senescence? Becoming old age. One particular stage, the organism is becoming very old and losing the capacity of reproduction. That is called the old age and non-reproductive phase. What is the meaning of non-reproductive? At the time all the reproductive organs like testis and ovary are becoming very weak, unable to produce the gametes, so the animal is unable to reproduce. That is very old age. That is called old age and non-reproductive phase. Now these are the three phases are there. It is very common for all the organisms, all the living organisms, whether they are lower organisms or higher organisms. These are the three phases are there in the life cycle. Next we are going to study one more type of reproduction. So far we have studied two types of reproductions. One is asexual reproduction, second one is sexual. Only these two major. But in this, one more type we are going to study. It is a peculiar type of reproduction. This peculiar type of reproduction is parthenogenesis. What is the meaning of parthenogenesis? We have to see. It is the ovum develops into young one without fertilization. Now in the sexual reproduction we have studied. Ovum is produced by the ovary of the female. Sperm is produced by the testis of the male. But during fertilization, the sperm is moving towards the ovum and fusing in the ovum to form the zygote. That is the general procedure what we have studied in the sexual reproduction. But in this parthenogenesis, ovum is there. It is produced by the female, but sperm is not coming and fusing. The ovum, without the sperm, it develops into young one without fertilization. That is called the parthenogenesis. In parthenogenesis, there are two types of parthenogenesis. There are two types. One is natural parthenogenesis. Another one is artificial parthenogenesis. I will take each one separately. Now, that is natural parthenogenesis we have to take. The meaning of natural parthenogenesis is it occurs naturally in some animals. That means naturally the ovum will develop into young one. No artificial influence, no other influence. Naturally it is happening. That is called a natural parthenogenesis. There are three types of natural parthenogenesis. There are three types. What are they here? First one is complete parthenogenesis. Already we studied about what is parthenogenesis. Ovum developing into young one without fertilization. That is parthenogenesis. Complete. What is the meaning of complete parthenogenesis? We have to see. In this type of parthenogenesis, this is only the method of reproduction in some organism. Some organisms are there. The males may be there. Females will be present. Males will be producing sperms. Female will produce ovum. But they are not undergoing fertilization. Only the ovum will develop into the young ones. So, in those organisms, other method of reproductions cannot be seen. We cannot see the usual asexual method. We cannot see the usual sexual method of reproduction. Only parthenogenesis is taking place. So we are calling this is only the method of reproduction in some organism. No sexual reproduction takes place. Only female is involved in reproduction and the male has no role in the reproduction. Male is there, it is producing sperm, but the sperm is not at all going to be used. So the male has no role in reproduction. These are the three characteristic features for complete parthenogenesis. In some organisms, this only method of reproduction is taking place. Then we are coming to the second type, incomplete parthenogenesis. We are going to study about incomplete parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis meaning already we have studied. What is an incomplete? Both sexual and the parthenogenesis reproduction takes place. That occurs. Now what is that in some organisms? That is sexual reproduction will take place. Male is producing sperms, female is producing ovum. Fusion takes place like fertilization. Then the fertilization is producing or leading to zygote formation. Zygote is developing into young one. That is usual sexual reproduction. And also one more method, parthenogenesis occurs. In some cases what will happen? Fertilization will not take place. Ovum develops into young one. That is parthenogenesis. That is sexual reproduction as well as parthenogenesis will take place together in the individual. That is incomplete parthenogenesis. Example for that, honeybees. We know very well the honeybees colony. Now in the colony, how the colony is developed, we have to see. Number one, zygotes develop into queen bees and workers. What is that zygote? Fertilized eggs. That is sexual reproduction. Sperm is fusing with the ovum and forming lot of zygotes. The zygotes or fertilized eggs develop into queen bee. In the colony, only one large female will be there. That is called a queen bee. Only one will be there. And also workers. Many workers will be there. Some are collecting honey. Some are nectar from the various flowers. Some are constructing the hive. Some are protecting the beehive. Some are taking care of the young ones like that. Workers. So the female, one queen female. And also the workers are developed from the zygote, bee. Unfertilized ovum, that means ovum without fertilization, develop into the drones. What are drones? Males. The drones are also called the males. So unfertilized ovum, that is single ovum without fertilization, is developing into males. Now this is actually the best example for incomplete parthenogenesis. So for female queen bee and also for the workers, sexual reproduction is taking place. For the development of drones, parthenogenesis is taking place. This is called the incomplete parthenogenesis. Then the third type is pedogenic parthenogenesis. Now in this pedogenic, normally in some organisms, in some animals, life cycle is including larval stages. For example, the same butterfly, you can see that. The female butterfly is laying eggs. Eggs are developing into larvae. Larvae will develop into pupae. Pupae will develop into young ones. That is a usual procedure. In lower classes you might have studied about it. Now in pedogenic parthenogenesis, assume that the eggs are hatched off into larvae. Larva, singular, larvae, plural. We should not write larvas, it is wrong. Larvae, plural. Now what the larvae will do, normally they will develop into pupa. But here, in some animals, the larvae reproduce. Actually they cannot reproduce, but here they reproduce new generation of next one more type of larvae. Larvae will produce larvae. Then these larvae, who are the parents of these larvae? This first set of larvae are the parents. Now these larvae will develop into pupae and then into young ones. So this type is something peculiar. Larvae can reproduce into another set of larvae. That is called pedogenic parthenogenesis. Now we are coming to the next second type of parthenogenesis. So far what are the things we have studied? Everything is natural parthenogenesis. Now we are coming to artificial parthenogenesis. What is the meaning of artificial? Man-made. Human beings are inducing this parthenogenesis. Now the ovum of some animals will be there, but the ovum is induced by human, induced by man, artificially. So the ovum is induced artificially by physical. Physical means physical factors of the surrounding. and the chemical factors of the surrounding factors to develop into young ones. Now we'll take what are the physical factors. Temperature is a physical factor. Light is a physical factor. Now these are all the surrounding factors, physical factors. Chemical factors. Anything chemical, any chemical substance present in the surrounding, present in the air or present in the water or anything, the chemical substances present in the surrounding will be called as factors, chemical factors. So the physical and chemical factors are used to induce this ovum to develop into the young one. So this is man-made, so we are calling it as artificial parthenogenesis. A sperm is not at all involved. Ovum is directly induced to develop into young one. Now we are coming to the next topic, last topic, that is classification of animals based on egg development. Based on the egg development, we are classifying the animals into 3 groups. Now what are they? You have to see. The first one is oviparous animals. This is the first group of animals. What are oviparous animals? They are commonly called egg-laying animals. Commonly called egg-laying animals. What is the meaning of egg-laying? There are some animals. They are laying fertilized eggs into the surrounding. That is called egg-laying. I can give some example for this. What is the first one? Now we can take fishes and amphibians. If you take the fishes are living completely in water. Amphibians means the frogs like. They are living in water as well as on land. Now these are the animals which are laying eggs in water. But one important thing is the eggs of fishes and the eggs of frogs are not having any outer protective shell. Shell will not be present. But they are laid in water. That is called oviparous. Second one, in the oviparous itself, there are certain animals like reptiles and birds. Reptiles means the snakes, crocodile, lizards, etc. And also the birds, any type of birds you can take. They are also laying eggs in the nest. But the eggs of the birds and the reptiles, if you take, the eggs are well protected by a thick protective covering called the shell. So in fishes and the amphibians, the eggs are not, fertilized eggs are not surrounded by the shell. But in birds and the reptiles, the fertilized eggs are surrounded by hard protective covering called the shell. So anyhow, in all these 4 groups of animals like fishes, amphibians, reptiles and birds, the animals are laying eggs in the surrounding. So they are called oviparous animals. The next one is viviparous animals. What is the meaning of viviparous? There are certain animals in animal kingdom. They are advanced animals, you can say. They are not laying the eggs, but they are giving birth to young ones. They are giving birth to young ones. What is the meaning of giving birth to young ones? Viviparous animals. These are the animals which are giving birth to young ones directly. That is called viviparous. The third group is ovoviviparous. Ovoviviparous. That means a combination of these two. Now we will take the details of the oviparous, viviparous and ovoviviparous. Little more details we will take. Now we are taking these oviparous animals. I already told there are certain animals which are laying the eggs. The first one, egg laying animals. Commonly these animals are called egg laying. The eggs hatch up into young ones under suitable temperature. So for the eggs to develop into young ones, they need a suitable temperature. So during that only the organisms may incubate or the surrounding temperature to become optimum temperature. So at the time the eggs are hatched up into young ones. The eggs without shell. Now I already told you the eggs are laid in the surrounding, that is in water, but they are not having any outer protective shell. Hard shell will not be present. Example, fishes and amphibians. Then eggs with shell. If you take eggs with shell, reptiles and birds. Now the eggs are laid in the nest, but they are well protected by hard shell. That is called eggs with shell. These are all the characteristic features for oviparous. Now we are coming to viviparous. I already told you the young ones are given birth. The mother gives birth to young ones. That is a female mother, matured mother. Inside the body of the mother, the child is growing, the young one is growing. And after that, the young one is delivered, that is birth. Give birth to young ones. fetus. What is the meaning of it? The developing young one is called a fetus. The fetus grows in the special organ called the uterus. In these organisms, there is a special organ in the female body that is called the uterus of the mother. So the fetus is growing there. Then the fetus gets nourishment. Nourishment means supply of food materials. That is called the nourishment, and also the oxygen. Fetus gets nourishment from mother. From the mother's body, the fetus, the growing young one, is getting nourishment food from the mother through a special tissue called the placenta. A special tissue is there. It is sending only the food and oxygen and also taking all the waste material. That is called the placenta, a special tissue. So in the female's body, in the uterus, the special tissue is present called the placenta. Through that placenta, the food materials are supplied to the fetus. Example, mammals. Mammals means including human being. All cattle, sheep, goat, dogs, that is wild animals like lion, tigers, everything. You can take this mammals. They are called the mammals. So all mammals are giving birth to young ones. That is the characteristic feature. Now these are the 4 different characters for the viviparous. Now we are coming to ovoviviparous, which is the combination of oviparous and viviparous. What are the characters you can say? Eggs are kept in the special pouch in the body. They don't have uterus. They don't have the uterus, special organ. But they have special pouch or special region will be there. All the eggs will be stored. So since the eggs are deposited in the special pouch, they are coming under oviparous. But they are not released out. The next one, no placental connection. In the special pouch, there is no placenta. There is no placental connection. Eggs hatch off and the young one is delivered from the special pouch. Now all the development will take place inside the pouch. The eggs are developing into young one without any parents or help, but only the thing is giving protection. Finally the eggs are hatched off into young ones in the, and then delivered. The young ones are delivered from the special pouch. Since the young ones are delivered, it is coming under what? Viviparous. Eggs are laid in the special pouch, it is called the oviparous. The young ones are developed in the special pouch and finally delivered out, so that it is viviparous. So we are calling them as ovoviviparous. The best example for ovoviviparous is shark, the fish, shark. Now like that many examples will be there. Now that is called the ovoviviparous. That's we have completed about the first unit in zoology, Bio-Zoology in standard 12, various methods of reproductions. Okay, so following that, I can give some assignment. You have to complete the assignment and you have to send it. Thank you. God bless you.